High school football in St. Johns County, Week 9, and we actually have some playoff pictures shaping up. I'm Justin Barney with the St. Augustine Record, and let's recap what happened in Week 8 games and to kind of get us to talking about the playoffs. Ponte Vedra 23, Creekside 17. That game was marred by a fight between the two teams, shaking hands in line afterwards, so you don't like to see that one. But the Sharks nonetheless get to the 5th victory for the first time in program history. St. Augustine 29, Palm Coast Matanzas 3. Matanzas not really competitive in that one. Jackets lock up a playoff spot. Clay 51, Bartram Trail 33. The Bears had a chance to nail down a district championship at home, and they were just never even in contention. Run off the field. Defense did not give up, did not do a good job in that one for the Bears. Gave up almost 500 yards to Clay. Palatka 34, Menendez 0. Menendez out of the playoff picture. Very disappointing season for the Falcons. And St. Joseph goes on the road, a long trip down to Hollywood, Florida, loses 36-29 to Woodshaven on the last play of the game. And we can actually start talking about playoffs now. What last week's games did decide were a couple playoff teams. St. Augustine going to the playoffs for the 11th consecutive season, and they can wrap up the district championship at Palatka in 2 weeks. The Yellow Jackets are off in Week 9. Menendez, very disappointing season, as I mentioned. Linebacker Tony Stewart, one of the top prospects in the country, did not play last week, and it showed. Palatka just ran all over Menendez, and the Falcons didn't even get on the scoreboard. So Menendez staying home for the playoffs after going back-to-back seasons. And Bartram Trail could not get it done against Clay, so the Bears are going to have to wait a little bit longer to steal a playoff spot. And still not guaranteed for the Bears. I mean, obviously some things would have to really break in favor of the other teams and not go Bartram's way, but nonetheless, Bartram can't start thinking about the playoffs just yet. After this week's games, perhaps. Bartram going to Orange Park, not a district game, but a chance for the Bears to get back on the right track. Clay going to Creekside, and Clay could wrap up, if not a district championship, a playoff spot with a win over Creekside. Ponte Vedra and Nease, that's a big one right there, because a lot of things can happen depending on the outcome of this game. Nease needs to win here and win out, knock off Clay in a couple weeks to even sniff the playoffs. So Ponte Vedra can get to the 6th win. They've never beaten Nease. That should be a big one. No matter who wins that game, that's going to be a big game, big victory for the Sharks or the Panthers. Last but not least, St. Joseph going on the road again, going to Brantford for just a non-district game. St. Joseph obviously not in a district, so playing for pride and a good record for the Flashes. And so after this week's game, we should be able to nail down a little bit further the playoffs, but they are really starting to take shape, and only 2 more weeks left in the regular season after this one. We'll talk to you next week, and a full slate of games coming at you in Week 10. And I'm Justin Barney with the St. Augustine Record.